Arcade Heroes.
Greetings, it's Adam with ArcadeHeroes.com, and we've got some more arcade news. Of course, it's IAAPA season. IAAPA is a giant trade show. Some are calling it the Super Bowl of the amusement industry. I often compare it to the E3 of the arcade industry. I guess it just depends on your perspective. A lot of those in the calling it the Super Bowl are not really gamers. But that's fine. It's our Super Bowl, so to speak. But that means there's a lot of new games being announced, and here's one of them. This is a trailer from Big Buck Hunter or from Play Mechanics. They are the developers of the Big Buck Hunter series, and this shows the new content update. And so let's take a look together. And then I'll have a reaction where I go, "Whoa!" or I cry or whatever. I can't believe they put that in there. I hate reaction videos, by the way, but I know they make millions or billions for YouTube. They want more. Oh yeah, ready for more? Okay then. Get yourself a Jackrabbit. The Jackrabbit update. From the northern reaches of the globe. Making the triumphant return to Big Buck Hunter, Elliot Ness and his men. It's the Caribou. Oh, wrong animal. Welcome to Caribou Adventure. An all-new adventure for Big Buck Hunter Reloaded Machines. So if you're not familiar with Big Buck Hunter's latest iteration, the Reloaded series, it's the evolution of Big Buck HD, which came out in 2012. In fact, I have a machine that started as a Big Buck HD, and I've been upgrading it ever since. Now you can get the big bad wolf. No huffing, no puffing, no blow your face in. New bonus games include zombie variations. I did see those during the Big Buck Championship. That's not all. Don't dead open inside. So this has been the big secret that's supposed to be out there, is that the 2017 arcade exclusive release from Play Mechanics and Raw Thrills, The Walking Dead, is now going to be a part of Big Buck Reloaded Machines. And this is the surprising part, is that it's available in its full entirety, which is somewhere around 30 minutes of gameplay. I have direct capture footage on my channel here, which many of you have probably seen. I know some of you have subscribed due to stuff like that. And from that and other direct captures I've done. And so you can see that if you want, and I put a card there. But that is surprising. Now, Big Buck Hunter Reloaded already does include several games as a part of it. You could call them mini games, but they're almost like full games. There's Doe of the Dead. There's Monsters of Lost Island, I think it's called. There's Terminator Salvation Delta Mission. Now there's The Walking Dead. Now, amongst all those, The Walking Dead would have the most content to it. But still, the Doe of the Dead, and well, actually all three of those. The Doe of the Dead and the Monsters of Lost Island could be turned into their own independent arcade machines. Maybe just throwing a little bit extra content than what they already came with. Terminator Salvation is obviously based on the Terminator Salvation arcade game that Raw Thrills did way back in 2009 or 2010, which I used to have one of those. But the Delta Mission is not the full game, whereas this Walking Dead is. And so that's a big surprise there that they're going to put that much into it. This really makes Big Buck Hunter, or solidifies it as a multi-game light gun game for arcades. And so when I see people asking about what multi-games are out there, it's usually stuff like Pac-Man and Galaga in a compilation or something like that. But this, if you want to have a lot of content in your arcade or your bar, this is where bars are where most big bucks are found. That this is one great way to do it. Now, where I have a Walking Dead still here, and I have a Big Buck Hunter Reloaded, I'm curious if the Walking Dead will get much play on that. I see people playing Terminator Salvation Delta Mission once in a while. I don't have Terminator anymore. I do have Aliens Armageddon. One thing that I've asked play mechanics or suggested that they do, of course they don't have to do anything that I suggest, but just something I think would be cool is if they took the sniper level from Aliens Armageddon and fleshed that out a little bit, because it's just so short. It's what actually, to me, the most satisfying part of the game, and yet it's the shortest sequence in that particular game with a unique weapon. But that would be pretty cool to do with the big buck hunter guns, but maybe one day in the future. Of course, now that Aliens is under the Disney umbrella, that's probably where it's become very, very difficult to do or too expensive. Now, that's not the only piece of Raw Thrills news that we have. If you hop over to arcadeheroes.com, we also have news on a brand new model for Fast and Furious Arcade, the Standard Edition. And so one thing about this, though, to note is that right after I published this, I got a message from Raw Thrills saying, hold tight, there will be another cabinet image. I'm still waiting on that as when I record this, but so apparently they've decided against including these metal blades on the sides. These ones came from Superbikes 3, and so those will not be included. And then there's also something different about the marquee. I believe they are all going to ship with single marquees, but you can order a large dual marquee if you wish to. Another thing to point out was where these games have different colors, and many other Raw Thrills games have had different colors like MotoGP, but you cannot pick your color. So if you are an operator, or even if you want to buy one of these for your house, you can't say, I want the red one. I mean, you can say that to your distributor, but it won't mean anything. You could end up getting a completely different color. And so just due to the logistics of how shipping works in this industry, it's too difficult to do requests. The only difference is that if you've already purchased, let's say you buy 2 now, and then 6 months from now you decide to buy 2 more, you can include your serial numbers to your distributor, and that way they can ensure that you don't end up with the same color in those relatively rare instances, but otherwise there's no customization there. But some other details that were included to me were that it has updated physics to trigger stunts in an easier way. I butchered that. This might be a new software update as well. Free race for head-to-head winner option, new attract movie. Now these cabinets, they do not have motion. They have smaller screens. The super deluxe version that's out there, which might be on the ad here if I zoom out. Yeah, there it is. And so those have two 65-inch 4K screens. The standard one has two 43-inch 5K screens. The super deluxe or the deluxe has the motion platform, whereas this does not. And so those are the main differences. But this right here is around $13,000, which is a saved versus the single cabinet from the super deluxe that is $25,000 per cabinet, and so 50,000 ish for 2, whereas this one is around 26,000 ish for 2. And so same game essentially, just missing a few features. Then I was sent the flyer for it here too. But yeah, so that's new. Now there's one other Raw Thrills game that has not been announced yet. I know what it is, but I'm not at liberty to say yet, so I'm just waiting on the A-OK there. But once that comes along, perhaps I'll do a video about that similar to this, or I'll definitely be doing a post on Arcade Heroes about it. But that will be at IAAPA as well. So there's 3 primary new things coming from Raw Thrills at IAAPA. I don't know if they might have any other surprises on top of that. Yeah, but that's definitely what I will be seeing next week when I'm down in Orlando to check out that show. But let me know what you think about The Walking Dead and Big Buck Hunter, or maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you're more excited about the Caribou and the zombie minigames, or maybe you're excited about the Fast and Furious Arcade Standard. I mean, one nice thing about standard versions like this is that they are easier to find out there because more locations can afford them, more locations can fit them. As much as I personally would like to have one of these giant Fast and Furious games, I just don't have the budget for it, especially when you might have seen out there those locations that have 4 of them. That's like over $100,000 after you add shipping and tax. That it's awesome to see in person, but for a small independent operator like myself, who has to work a second job to keep his bills paid at home, yeah, I can't afford even close to that. So something like this becomes more feasible. I haven't personally decided if I would go for this yet because I still have Cruise and Blast and it's still doing all right. But yeah, you might come across this out there in case you've been wanting to find one, but you haven't. Say your local arcade hasn't jumped on the Super Deluxes. Yeah, let me know what you think below. Stay tuned for more news coming from IAAPA, more arcade news, including a live stream. I haven't decided yet if I'll do that tomorrow on Friday or if I'll do that on Saturday. Coming soon. I just like to kind of wait until the last minute, just because there's often some manufacturers that wait until that last minute for details, but there's quite a bit out there that I already know. And so I will help you have a preview of all of that, whether or not you're going to the show, so you can see what brand new arcade games are coming to the industry here in 2024. But thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.